With the upcoming release of Star Fox for the Nintendo Switch 2, I decided to test something that I've been hearing quite a bit recently: the claims that Star Fox 64 is a masterpiece. Watching the reveal trailer, I realized that I had pretty much zero exposure to the franchise at all. We had almost every Nintendo console growing up, and we had, even niche entries for a bunch of franchises that we played a ton as kids. Prime example, Kirby Air Ride was probably one of our most played games on the GameCube. However, the one franchise that we never played once, not even at our friends' houses, was Star Fox. So, as I was watching this very cool reveal for a big Nintendo franchise, I decided that I needed to try out Star Fox to see what all the hype was about. A bunch of people online kept saying that if they were going to do anything with the Star Fox franchise, remaking 64 again isn't the worst choice because of how great a game it is. So, this last week, I decided to play a little bit of Star Fox 64 just to get a taste. So I played the whole game once, and then I played it again, and then I played it again, and then I played it again. To put it simply, Star Fox 64 is a very fun and very addicting game, and one that I think is definitely worthy of a remake for Nintendo Switch 2. Three things that I want to talk about here. First, the gameplay. A lot of Nintendo 64 games these days can be hit or miss as far as gameplay goes. While some games have aged well, others haven't, and it can be hard to go back and play older games because of this. I wasn't too sure what to expect with Star Fox, but man, does this game hold up well as far as gameplay goes. Yeah, this game was designed for a Nintendo 64 controller, and so playing it on a Switch Pro controller was a little awkward, but once I got used to the controls, which didn't take a ton of time, the game played so well and it felt so good to control. Second, I want to talk about world building. Another thing that I love about the game is how dynamic it feels. Your crewmates fly alongside you and weave in and out of the screen. They take damage, which is indicated above their little face icon, and you can even damage them yourself if you're not careful while shooting. If they take too much damage, they can even leave the battle, leaving you to finish the mission. I thought this was so cool. And if they leave the mission early, they don't join you for the next mission. I thought this was so cool and so ahead of its time. All of the little character interactions really go a long way, and it makes the game feel alive. I've played current generation games that don't feel this alive. The voice acting is great, and while I feel that a lot of the dialogue can be a little bit cheesy, I think it works for the game. I also want to talk about replayability. When Star Fox for the Nintendo Switch 2 was announced, I was worried that I would pay $50 for this game and that it would be over in like a single hour. However, after playing Star Fox 64 4 times in a row, I'm no longer super worried about the length of the game, especially since the Switch 2 version is adding a bunch of other things to it. Extra challenges, multiplayer combat, different difficulty settings. All of these things on top of the huge amount of replayability the original has makes me think that I'll be playing the remake quite a bit. But even on its own, I think Star Fox 64 is a blast to play through. And I think it helps that the game is a little shorter. You can get through this game in an hour, which makes it that more appealing to just pick it up and play through the whole thing. The stages are short, but they feel great on every playthrough that I've done. Looking at the Switch 2 version again, I think it's the perfect game to be remade right now. The one aspect of the original that doesn't actually hold up very well is the visuals. I think the game looks fine, but I don't think it looks amazing. The difference between the original and the Switch 2 version is so massive, and now that I've played the original, it makes me that much more excited to go play the new version, just to see how they have updated all of these stages visually. When you also look at the gameplay and the world building, it seems like the Switch 2 version is also going to improve both of those aspects of the game as well. The new cutscenes look absolutely gorgeous, and while I feel there was decent world building during the stages, it's kind of hard to grasp the overarching story while playing the game. And the little tiny segments in between stages of the original doesn't do much to help you understand what exactly is going on in the war. The new cutscenes seem to fix that, fleshing out everything and creating an even more compelling story. And then the gameplay, while good, I'm excited to play with updated controls on a Switch Pro controller, and I think it's going to play like a dream. Anyway, those are my brief thoughts on Star Fox 64. It's interesting how playing a single game can turn you into a fan of a franchise, and I would say that that's definitely happened here. I'm very excited to play the new Star Fox, and I'm excited to see what they do with the franchise going forward. I think if this game does even remotely well, we'll probably get a quick sequel sometime in the near future. I can't imagine that these games take that long to produce. Anyways, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Are you excited for the new game? Are you a fan of the original Star Fox 64? Let me know what you think. I'd love to have a little discussion in the comments with you guys. Thanks guys, and we'll see you next time.